In the vast golden landscape of Egypt, a shape rises from the earth. It is a shape that has captivated humanity for thousands of years. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a silent witness to the passage of time. For over 4.5 millennia, it has watched empires rise and fall. It has seen the sands shift and the stars wheel across the night sky. This colossal structure is more than just a tomb. It is a monument to human ambition, a puzzle carved in stone, and a story waiting to be told. Its sheer presence on the horizon fills us with a sense of wonder and profound mystery. The sun beats down on the Giza plateau just as it did when the first stone was laid. The pyramid seems to absorb the light, its limestone surfaces once gleaming like a polished jewel. Imagine standing at its base, looking up at its towering peak. You would feel incredibly small, humbled by the scale of what ancient people achieved. They had no modern machines, no cranes, no power tools, yet they built a mountain. They aligned it almost perfectly with the stars. How did they do it? This question has echoed through the ages, puzzling historians, scientists, and dreamers alike. The pyramid holds its secrets close. This is not just a relic of a distant past. It is a living mystery. Each year, new discoveries are made that chip away at the enigma, offering us small glimpses into the world of its creators. But for every answer we find, new questions seem to emerge from the shadows. The Great Pyramid challenges our understanding of what is possible. It forces us to look back at our ancestors not as simple people from a primitive time, but as innovators and engineers of incredible skill. Their legacy is written in millions of tons of stone, a testament to a vision that has outlasted civilizations. Today, tourists from all over the world flock to see this wonder. They come to feel the weight of history and to touch a piece of a world so different from our own. As we stand before it, we are connected to Pharaoh Khufu, for whom it was built. We are connected to the thousands of workers who dedicated their lives to its construction. The Great Pyramid is a bridge across time, a symbol of our shared human story. It reminds us that even with all our modern knowledge, there are still ancient wonders that can leave us utterly speechless, staring up in awe. To truly understand the Great Pyramid, we must first grasp its immense size. It is a structure of almost unbelievable proportions, built on a scale that is difficult to comprehend. For nearly 4,000 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. It stands at a height of around 139 meters today, though it was originally taller before losing its outer casing stones. Its base covers an area so large that several cathedrals could fit comfortably within its footprint. It is, in every sense of the word, a man-made mountain, a landmark visible for many miles across the flat Egyptian landscape. The pyramid is constructed from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks. These are not small bricks. The average block weighs about 2.5 tons, which is the same as a large family car. Some of the granite blocks used deep inside the pyramid in the king's chamber weigh as much as 80 tons. These massive stones were not quarried next to the building site. They were transported from Aswan, a location over 800 kilometers away to the south. The sheer logistics of moving such a vast number of heavy blocks over such a distance is a puzzle that has baffled experts for centuries. The precision of the construction is just as astonishing as its scale. The four sides of the base are aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal points of the compass: north, south, east, and west. The difference is a tiny fraction of a degree, a level of accuracy that would be a challenge to achieve even with modern surveying equipment. The stones themselves were cut and fitted together with such care that you often cannot fit a thin blade between them. This was not a rushed job. It was a masterpiece of engineering, planned and executed with meticulous attention to detail. Think of the workforce required for such a project. It was once thought that the pyramids were built by slaves toiling under the whip. But modern archaeology tells a different story. Evidence suggests the builders were skilled Egyptian workers. They lived in a well-organized town near the pyramid. They were well-fed, received medical care, and were buried with honor near the sacred tombs of their pharaohs. This was not a project of forced labor, but a national project of immense pride, uniting thousands of people in a common goal for decades. The challenges faced by the builders of the Great Pyramid were monumental. The first problem was simply quarrying the millions of stone blocks needed for its construction. The ancient Egyptians used tools made of copper and a harder stone called dolerite. They would hammer away at the limestone, slowly carving out the massive blocks. For the harder granite, they may have used heat and water to crack the stone along desired lines. It was slow, back-breaking work that required immense patience and physical strength. Every single block was a testament to hours of labor under the hot Egyptian sun. Once a block was quarried, the next great challenge was transportation. How do you move millions of blocks, each weighing several tons, from the quarry to the construction site? The limestone came from a nearby quarry on the Giza plateau itself, but the massive granite beams for the inner chambers came from Aswan, hundreds of miles up the Nile River. The Egyptians were master boat builders and sailors. They would load the heavy stones onto large wooden barges and use the power of the river's current to float them downstream. It was a perilous journey, requiring expert navigation to avoid sinking the precious cargo. Getting the stones to the Giza plateau was only half the battle. The greatest challenge of all was lifting them into place. As the pyramid grew taller, the blocks had to be raised higher and higher. How did they lift a 2.5-ton block to a height of 100 meters or more? This is perhaps the most debated aspect of the pyramid's construction. Without cranes or modern machinery, the task seems almost impossible. The builders had to devise a system that was both effective and safe, allowing them to place each block with incredible precision, layer upon layer, until the pyramid reached its peak. Finally, there was the challenge of organization. Building the Great Pyramid was like managing a modern mega-project. It required a huge, coordinated effort. There had to be planners, architects, surveyors, and managers. There had to be teams to quarry the stone, teams to transport it, and teams to lift it into place. Food and water had to be supplied for thousands of workers. Tools had to be made and repaired. This was not just a feat of strength. It was a triumph of human organization, a perfectly orchestrated dance of labor and logistics that continued for over 2 decades. When faced with a mystery as grand as the Great Pyramid, the human imagination often runs wild. Over the centuries, many theories have emerged to explain its construction, some more fantastic than others. One popular idea is that the ancient Egyptians possessed a form of lost technology. Perhaps they had discovered the secrets of acoustic levitation, using sound to lift the heavy stones. Or maybe they had a powerful, unknown source of energy. These ideas are exciting because they suggest our ancestors were far more advanced than we believe, holding wisdom that has since been lost to the mists of time. Another, even more dramatic theory suggests that humans did not build the pyramids at all. According to this idea, extraterrestrial visitors came to Earth in ancient times. These advanced beings, with their superior technology and knowledge, built the pyramids for their own mysterious purposes. Perhaps the pyramids acted as beacons for their spacecraft, or as giant power plants. Proponents of this theory point to the pyramid's mathematical precision and astronomical alignments as evidence of knowledge beyond the reach of ancient humans. The idea of alien architects adds a thrilling science fiction element to the ancient mystery. These theories became popular for a simple reason: they offer a seemingly easy answer to a very difficult question. The task of building the pyramid seems so superhuman that it is almost easier to believe in lost technologies or visitors from other worlds than to accept that ancient people accomplished it with simple tools. These stories are compelling. They are told in books, on television shows, and across the internet. They capture our fascination with the unknown and our desire for a narrative that is larger than life. They turn a historical puzzle into a modern-day myth. However, these extraordinary claims lack one crucial thing: evidence. Archaeologists have found no trace of lost super technologies. They have found no alien artifacts or unearthly tools. What they have found are the tools the Egyptians actually used: copper chisels, wooden mallets, ropes, and sledges. They have found the remains of the workers' village, their bakeries, and their tombs. The story that the physical evidence tells is not one of aliens or magic, but of human ingenuity, hard work, and incredible organization. The truth, it seems, is just as amazing as the fiction, if not more so. For a long time, the most accepted scientific theory for how the stones were lifted was the use of ramps. It's a simple and logical idea. If you cannot lift something heavy straight up, you can pull it up a gentle slope. The most basic version of this theory suggests that the Egyptians built a single, long, straight ramp. This ramp would have started at the ground and grown longer and higher as the pyramid grew. Workers would have pulled the heavy stone blocks up the ramp on wooden sledges. The problem with this theory is the ramp itself. To reach the top of the pyramid, it would have had to be over a mile long, containing more material than the pyramid itself. This led to other, more complex ramp theories. Perhaps the ramp was not straight. Some experts proposed a spiral ramp, one that wrapped around the outside of the pyramid as it was being built. This would solve the problem of the ramp's enormous length. As the pyramid grew, the ramp would grow with it, like a road corkscrewing up a mountain. This is a clever idea, but it has its own problems. A ramp on the outside would have made it very difficult for the surveyors to ensure the pyramid's corners were perfectly aligned. How could they check their angles if the sides were always covered by a ramp? A more recent and compelling theory, proposed by French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin, suggests the ramp was on the inside. According to this idea, the Egyptians used a short, straight external ramp to build the bottom third of the pyramid. Then, they constructed an internal ramp, a tunnel that spiraled upwards from within the pyramid's core. This would have allowed them to continue pulling the stones up while keeping the exterior faces clear for surveying. This theory cleverly explains how they could have achieved both the height and the precision we see today. It is an elegant solution to a very old problem. While we have not yet found conclusive proof of an internal ramp, there have been tantalizing clues. In 2017, a project using modern scanning technology detected a large, hidden void inside the pyramid. This void, known as the Scan Pyramid's Big Void, is long and sloped, located in an area consistent with where an internal ramp might have been. It is not definitive proof, but it is a strong piece of evidence that suggests we are getting closer to the truth. The ramp theory, in one form or another, remains the most likely explanation for how the Egyptians conquered gravity. One of the biggest mysteries has always been how the Egyptians transported those massive stones to the Giza Plateau. The Nile River is several miles away, and dragging tons of stone across the sand would have been, well, an incredible effort. But, recent archaeological discoveries have revealed a crucial missing piece of the puzzle. It turns out the landscape of Giza was very different 4,500 years ago. Scientists studying ancient pollen and soil samples have actually found evidence of a lost arm of the Nile River. This waterway, which they've named the Khufu branch, once flowed right to the base of the plateau. And honestly, this discovery changes everything. It means the Egyptians did not have to drag the stones for miles over land. Instead, they could use the power of water. They constructed a sophisticated system of canals and even an inland harbor right at the foot of the pyramid construction site. The huge limestone and granite blocks could be loaded onto barges at the quarries and floated almost directly to where they were needed. This makes the enormous logistical challenge of moving millions of blocks seem, well, much more achievable. They were not just master builders, they were master hydraulic engineers. Further evidence for this amazing water system comes from a remarkable discovery made far from Giza, at a site on the Red Sea. Archaeologists found a collection of ancient papyrus documents. These turned out to be the logbook of a man named Mera, who was an inspector in charge of a team of boatmen during the reign of Khufu. Mera's diary is the only first-hand account of the pyramid's construction ever found. He describes his crew's work in detail, including trips to the Tura quarries to pick up fine white limestone for the pyramid's outer casing. Mera's logbook vividly describes how his team transported the stones by boat along the Nile and through a network of man-made canals. He specifically mentions delivering them to a harbor called the Horizon of Khufu, the pyramid's own port. This personal diary, written by someone who was actually there, provides stunning confirmation of the water transport theory. It connects the physical evidence of the lost waterway with the human story of the people who worked on this incredible project. It is a direct voice from the past, telling us how they did it. With the discovery of the harbor and Mera's diary, we can now piece together a much clearer picture of the construction process. The journey of a single stone block was honestly a masterpiece of planning. It began in the quarries, where skilled workers cut the blocks from the bedrock. Once a block was free, it was loaded onto a wooden sledge. Teams of workers then dragged the sledge to the riverbank or the entrance to a canal. There, it was carefully maneuvered onto a large wooden barge, ready for its journey on the water. This process was repeated thousands upon thousands of times. The barges, powered by sails and steered by experienced boatmen like Mera and his crew, would travel along the Nile. When they reached the Giza plateau, they would enter the specially built canal system. This network of waterways led them directly into the bustling harbor at the base of the pyramid. Here the blocks were unloaded, perhaps with the help of simple cranes or levers, and placed back onto sledges. The area would have been a hive of activity, with boats arriving, workers shouting instructions, and overseers keeping everything running smoothly. It was a perfectly organized industrial zone. Once on land at Giza, the stones still had to be moved up the slope of the plateau to the construction site. Here, the Egyptians used another clever trick. Experiments have shown that pulling a heavy sledge over dry sand is incredibly difficult. But if you pour a small amount of water onto the sand in front of the sledge, it becomes much, much easier. The water binds the sand together, reducing friction. Ancient tomb paintings actually depict this, showing a person pouring liquid in front of a sledge being pulled by workers. This simple but brilliant technique would have saved an enormous amount of effort. Finally, the block would reach the base of the pyramid, ready to be lifted into place. Using the system of ramps, whether external or internal, teams of workers would haul the sledge up the growing structure. With ropes, levers, and immense coordinated effort, they would maneuver the block into its precise position. Then, the process would begin all over again with the next block. It was a slow, repetitive, but highly effective system. It was a victory of simple physics, clever tricks, and the sheer power of organized human labor. When we compare the myths to the facts, a fascinating picture emerges. The myths of aliens and lost technologies are exciting, but they take the credit away from the people who actually deserve it. The truth, revealed by archaeology, is arguably more impressive. The Great Pyramid was not built by supernatural beings, it was built by us. It stands as the ultimate symbol of human ingenuity, resourcefulness, and determination. It shows what we can achieve when we work together towards a common, ambitious goal. It reminds us that the greatest tool we have has always been our own creativity. The builders of the pyramid did not have advanced technology, but they had a profound understanding of their world. They understood mathematics and astronomy. They knew how to survey the land with incredible accuracy. They understood physics and engineering, using simple machines like levers and ramps to achieve extraordinary results. They mastered their environment, turning the Nile River into a superhighway for stone and using the properties of sand and water to their advantage. Their genius was not in some magical device, but in their ability to observe, learn, and innovate with the tools they had. This achievement speaks to the power of human organization. The construction of the Great Pyramid was a project that spanned decades and involved tens of thousands of people. To coordinate such an effort required brilliant leadership and management. There were architects who designed it, scribes who kept records, overseers who managed the labor, and countless workers who quarried, transported, and placed the stones. They were all part of a complex and efficient system, working like a single well-oiled machine. This level of social cooperation is as amazing as the physical structure itself. The story of the Great Pyramid is therefore not a story of mystery alone, but a story of human potential. It challenges us to reconsider our own limits. If ancient people, with only simple tools and their own intellect, could build something so enduring and magnificent, what are we capable of today? The pyramid is a source of inspiration. It proves that with a bold vision, careful planning, and the collective will to succeed, humans can achieve the seemingly impossible. It is a legacy written in stone, a timeless reminder of our own species' incredible capacity for greatness. Even after centuries of exploration and decades of modern scientific study, the Great Pyramid has not given up all its secrets. It continues to be a place of active discovery. The use of new technologies like the cosmic ray muon scanning that detected the Big Void is opening up new avenues for research. These methods allow us to peer inside the pyramid's massive structure without drilling a single hole or moving a single stone. We are, for the first time, able to explore its hidden corners in a non-invasive way, revealing a map of its internal architecture. What other secrets might lie hidden? The mysterious void is just one discovery. Are there other chambers yet to be found? For centuries, people have speculated about a hidden hall of records, a legendary library said to contain the lost knowledge of an ancient civilization, perhaps even Atlantis. While this remains in the realm of myth, the possibility of undiscovered rooms is very real. The pyramid's design includes several decoy passages and sealed chambers. It is entirely possible that the true burial chamber of Pharaoh Khufu, untouched for 4,500 years, still waits to be found. The sands around the pyramid are just as mysterious as the structure itself. The workers' town, the harbor, and the network of canals are all recent discoveries that have transformed our understanding of the Giza Plateau. What else might be buried beneath our feet? There could be more workshops, more homes, or even more papyrus documents like Merer's diary. Each new excavation offers the potential for another groundbreaking find that could rewrite a chapter of history. The story of the Great Pyramid is far from over. In many ways, it feels like it is just beginning. And so we are left to wonder. The Great Pyramid stands as a monument to what we know, but also as a powerful symbol of what we do not. It encourages our curiosity and fuels our desire to explore and understand the past. It is a puzzle that invites each new generation to try and solve it. As technology advances, we will develop new ways to probe its depths and unlock its secrets. Perhaps one day we will have all the answers, or perhaps the true purpose of this magnificent structure is to stand forever as a question, inspiring us to keep searching, to keep learning, and to never stop looking up in awe.